everybody! Today we're gonna get in a fight, and I'm excited. Hello, if you're new to the channel, my name is GivReads, aka Andrew Givler. I'm an author and a booktuber, and I like to talk about fantasy, sci-fi, and everything in between. And today we're doing a tier list, which always brings just the best discussion. And what we're gonna do is rank some of the most powerful fantasy weapons of all time against each other. Now, this is not an exhaustive list, because I haven't read every single fantasy book that's ever been made. I also have a small brain, so sometimes I forget things. We're pulling from what I could find on lists, what I could think of, what I could remember. I'm sure there's more. If I think of more, I'll add it. If you think of more, leave in the comments below. Let me know where they go. If you disagree with me, let me know too. As always, if you like the content, hit the like button so that you see it. Hit the subscribe button too. We're trying to get this channel partnered, so hit the subscribe button to help us hit 1,000 subs, and let's get ranking. Okay, up first we have something really easy. If you're not familiar with how tier lists work, by the way, S tier is godlike, D tier is garbage, and the other ones are in between. A is like pretty good, B is like okay if you know what you're doing, C is like that's not good, and D is like oh you will die. Okay, so we're gonna be ranking these. These are not ranked on the stories that they're in or anything like that, just on their power levels. Okay, like wow, how strong I think they are. And first up, we've got Mjolnir right here, you know, the hammer of Thor, god of thunder himself. Now, this is not necessarily just the Marvel version, okay? This is, you know, an existing living legend such as it is. Mjolnir can only be picked up by someone who is worthy. It can return to sender. He can call it at any time, and he can use it to summon lightning and strike people down. All very good, but not the most broken. Lightning can be countered. You know, if you jump, does lightning even do anything? You have to be conductive. Maybe if you're in the water, that's bad. I think I'm leaning towards B for right now. Now, we can move things, okay? If you guys get mad, we can move things. But I think that Mjolnir is pretty good. It's okay. But it's not broken. There are better things, right? I could be wrong. I may change this. But for now, we're starting off with Mjolnir, middle of the pack. Up next, we have Callandor from Wheel of Time. If you haven't read Wheel of Time, I don't know what you're doing. Callandor is the sword that isn't the sword. It is a sa'angreal, which means that it allows a channeler to channel more of the one power. It's specifically attuned to men. It is the sword of the dragon reborn, but it has a flaw. It is corrupted. You can be taken over if you use it. However, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's really strong. It has a weakness. However, that weakness comes in handy. If you've read the series, you know what I'm talking about. Callandor has like the power to like level cities almost, okay, right? Like if a channeler like the dragon, Randall Thor uses it, you burn like the sun. You are unbelievably powerful. That makes me think that it should go A tier because it does have a pretty nasty counter. If I was a crazy person, I could have put the Chodin Cal in here. True fans will know what that is. That's the even more powerful sa'angreal, but Rand destroys it. I'm gonna put it at A tier right now because it has a pretty hard counter, but that counter is also kind of a strength. If you've read, I don't want to make a spoiler, but like it's a pretty big deal. So we're gonna put it at A right now. I feel like Thor versus Rand, Thor would get destroyed with the Callandor, right? Like lightning Rand would just use like channel air and get rid of it, and then would just slap him into the ground and crunch him, right? Like that's how I'm ranking these. It's not S tier because it has a flaw. Next up we have Death Scythe. Death Scythe. This thing has to be pretty broken, right? Like I think that might be S tier, like the Scythe of Death. I mean, depending on which version of Death we're talking about, he uses it to open portals. He uses it to kill up, you know, thousands at one time. Like he can just like sweep and like everything in front of him drops dead. The great harvesting, it cuts through anything. I'm probably gonna put that S tier. I feel like Death goes S tier just automatically because there's very few things that counter it, and the counters don't kill Death usually. They just don't let you die, right? That's all you can hope for. We may adjust that, but for now, I'm good with it. Next up, we have the Deathly Hallows. If you don't remember from Harry Potter, that's the three elder things: the Elder Wand, the Invisibility Cloak, and what's the third Hollow? The Resurrection Stone, obviously. So all three of them put together. And if you had them, you pretty much like couldn't die, and you could like what happens? Actually, I mean, speaking of things that could stop death, you could, if you had all three, you supposedly became in charge of death, right? The three keys of death. Pretty good. But also, I don't know, the Elder Wand was like really, we never got to see them put together. Individually, a little underwhelming. The Invisibility Cloak let you hide from death, right? And let you go invisible. That's cool. The Elder Wand was like better at magic, and the Resurrection Stone let you bring people back. I don't think they were that good. Sure, technically you beat the only thing we have in S tier right now, but I don't know, man. I think I'm gonna put them in B. I think I'm gonna put the Deathly Hallows in B. You guys might be mad at me for that, but we're gonna leave it there for now and get back to it, okay? These next two kind of go hand in hand, but this should be fun. This right here is Excalibur. Now, Excalibur is the sword that King Arthur pulls out of the stone, allegedly, right? That made him king. Usually it's tied, like in legend, to the rightful ruler of England has Excalibur to chill and do cool stuff with. Sometimes it has magic powers, like it can cut through stuff. I think I'm putting it in C. It's good, but like it's not Mjolnir. You can't throw it and bring it back. It doesn't summon lightning. It doesn't make you the master of death. I think it's like, it's a magic sword. I'm probably gonna get in trouble for that one. That's fine. Part 2 is Amarakius, the Sword of Love from the Dresden Files. Now, if you have read the Dresden Files, there are 3 swords of the cross. They're each made from one of the nails that were used in Jesus's body when he was nailed to the cross, allegedly, right? They're like these kind of like Catholic weapons that are given to men to protect the world from demons, basically. Their like whole mission is to stop demons. Technically, there are 3 of them. The Sword of Love is probably also Excalibur in the lore of the Dresden universe, but it's separate. It burns with like a holy fire. It can like channel the power of angels. It can like cast out demons. It's at least a little better than just Excalibur, right? So I think I might put it at the bottom of B. Like this is like top of C, bottom of B. We'll see. I might move it down, but like I'm thinking, you know, when Murphy goes in changes and she uses the Sword of Faith and like pronounces judgment on everything, and it's like, I don't know, there's at least a lot more power than what we usually see in Excalibur. So I'm gonna do that for now. Up next, we have the Infinity Gauntlet. Yep, the Infinity Stones, classic. Those have to be S tier, right? That might even be above Death Scythe because you can literally undo death, right? Like you could get rid of death with the Infinity Gauntlet. I think the Infinity Gauntlet's probably the most broken thing, probably. You know, it's really hard. Like they don't have a hard counter. I feel like you would destroy Rand. You could stop death. Like you could have an even fight with death, right? But you could win, and that's like one of the few things. Like you have to be able to hang with death to sit in S tier at this point. And I think that the Infinity Gauntlet could. That's where I'm at with that. We're putting Infinity Gauntlet S tier. Up next, we have the 2 sandalwood guns of Roland Shane, the gunslinger. They're not necessarily magical, but they they are made from Excalibur. The original ones, they're all from Arthur Eld, who melted down Excalibur to make the pistols of the first gunslingers, who have passed them down from family to family. So they got like a little bit of magic to them. I think I'm going to put it in C, but I'm going to put it above Excalibur because it's got range, unlike Excalibur. A gunslinger is so deadly, right? Obviously, they have a little bit of magic to them. He who kills with his hands has forgotten the face of his father. I'm just saying. Yeah, I'm happy with that in C. Let me know. Up next, we've got the Ring of Power. You know, the Ring of Power has to be on this list, right? One ring to rule them all. Here's the thing about the Ring of Power, if I may be so bold. We don't really know, like, is it powerful? You go invisible. It seems like the kind of thing the power really only unlocks for Sauron, right? Like Sauron uses it to control and corrupt, but like anybody else uses it, like it's his soul. They can't really take it over. So it's really invisibility and a little bit of corruption. I feel like that's like Deathly Hallows level. Like I'm gonna put it ahead of the Swords of the Cross from Dresden, but behind the Deathly Hallows, because the Deathly Hallows you also go invisible. So that feels like similar to me. If you're Sauron, it's probably like A or S tier, but if you're anybody else, we're gonna call it B tier. Ooh, I feel like I'm gonna get in trouble with that one. Listen, if you guys disagree, the comment section exists. Go for it. Up next, we have the Shardblades from the Stormlight Archive, right? The weapons made out of the dead Spren. Really powerful, lightweight, can cut through anything. The Shard Plate, also like really, really good. That kind of includes like all the shard weapons, essentially. Personally, I feel like in the world that they're in, they're broken. But compared to other things, not what's the difference between it and the weapons of Roland Shane or Excalibur? Sword cut real good, is real light. Like maybe slightly better than Excalibur, but like maybe guns at range. They're still like, it's still physical. It doesn't have magic. It just like if you're wearing the armor, you're kind of unkillable unless somebody else has Shard Plate and you smash through stuff. Okay, it's good. But compared to other things on this list, I think I'm putting it in C. Ooh, this next one though. This next one's a strong contender. Everything we have left is a banger, by the way. This is the Spear of Longinus. Now, this is used in Dresden Files, but it's also something from like Christian myth. It is the spear that was used to stab Jesus while he was on the cross after he died, supposedly, or like as he was dying. Traditionally very powerful, like Holy Grail level of power. Possibly stronger than, I would say, the swords, because it's like a bit more I kind of want to put it in A, but that feels like bias. I might put it over the Deathly Hallows because I think it can kill anything. I think that's kind of like its thing. Like there is nothing that can withstand it. Obviously, we've seen it used in Dresden, minor spoil, and it was quite effective. You know, I might put it right here, right behind the Deathly Hallows, but ahead of the Ring of Power. That feels right. Actually, yeah. I think I might move the Ring of Power down to the bottom of B. I think I would rather have Amarakius or one of the Swords of the Cross over the Ring of Power. Am I crazy? Maybe. You guys are gonna let me know if I'm crazy. Please don't let me know too rudely if I'm crazy, okay? You guys are gonna roast me. Oh, this next one's pretty broken. This is the Colt from Supernatural. If you've never watched Supernatural, you should go watch Supernatural. All 16 seasons. Get on it. There's a couple seasons that aren't great. The rest are really, really good. The Colt was apparently a magic weapon made by Samuel Colt, the inventor of like the six shooter, one of the six shooters, the Colt pistol. And it could kill anything. It had like bullets that could kill anything. Super sick premise. They used it in the first season. A gun that can kill anything, that's got to be at least A, right? And like that's got to be hovering on the edge of S. Like I kind of want to put it here because if it could kill anything, remember I said to be in here you have to be able to hang with death. Technically, if the Grim Reaper came for you and you shot him with the Colt, I think according to the lore of Supernatural, he would die, which who knows what that would do. I think the Colt's S, man. I do. I really, really do. You know, it's obviously not a wide scale death. Like you can't snap away like you can with the Infinity Gauntlet. So the Infinity Gauntlet's like peak of S, but I think the Colt can kill the unkillable. That's got to make it S tier. That's got to make it S tier, even over Roland's guns, anything else. Up next, we have Poseidon's Trident. Control of the oceans. Hello? I think that's got to be like A tier as well. You can control stuff on it's another elemental thing, right? Thor has lightning, but the ocean is much bigger and much more devastating than some lightning. I feel like one guy being like, lightning over there, and Poseidon being like, rise up oceans and swallow this city. Different. Now, not quite Callandor level, because Callandor accesses a lot more power than just the ocean. But I'm gonna say Poseidon is A tier. And last but not least, we got one more god weapon coming in. Zeus. Zeus is lightning, the Roman god of lightning. I'm an idiot. No, the Greek god of lightning. What is his name in Roman? Jupiter. Jupiter. It would be Jupiter. Zeus is lightning. Ooh, this is a tricky one. I feel like scale-wise, like he's like control of storms, where Thor generally is just like, hey, here comes some lightning. But sometimes we see him pop off, especially with Stormbreaker, right? So I kind of want to. I am really torn on this. I don't know if it should go bottom of A or top of B, right? I think I agree that it's kind of like in those things. Because even in Thor lore, yikes, Marvel Thor lore, say that 10 times fast, Thor needed the lightning bolt of Zeus. He thought it was more powerful than what he had. So, you know what? With that, I'm putting it bottom of B. But like they're real close. They're real kissing cousins, okay? Obviously, we had overpowered weapons, so nothing really went into D. Like, you could maybe put Excalibur in D, maybe. Like, I wouldn't die on this hill if you were like, Excalibur has to be C. But if you wanted to put it in D, I would understand. Other notable mentions that we didn't put on here were things like Sting, Glamdring, Numenor, like all the weapons from Lord of the Rings, all the swords. But their magic's all really understated. I feel like they would have just been kind of where they were with Excalibur. So, you know, Sting maybe could be a little ahead because it glows. That's cool, I guess. But yeah, that's my fantasy weapon tier list. I know we've left some stuff off. Guys, I'll do a part 2 if you guys give me enough suggestions of other weapons that should be thrown in. So drop them down in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button, okay? Hit the subscribe button too. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next GivReads video. What a weird outro.